Greetings, I'm Dr. Penny Moore, and I want to give you a little orientation to our research course. Some of you, I think, maybe have not had an online course, so I'm going to tell you some of the basics, and if you know this information, just kind of plug your ears for a few minutes. Down the left-hand column of our course page, you'll see navigation icons, and across the top, those are called tool icons. Across the top, you'll see things like the grade book, and you go there to look at your grades, and you should be able to get feedback from your assignments and see what your averages are right up to date, so you know where you're standing, what your standing is in the course. Also across the top, you'll see the doc sharing. You'll be several times directed to go to doc sharing to look at some of the documents that are there. And then there's Webliography. If any of you come across this particularly good website, we'd encourage you to share it with your colleagues there on the Webliography. Down the left-hand side, the first thing that you see is a course home, and under that's a syllabus. I would encourage you maybe to think about printing the syllabus, because almost all of the rest of the information that's down the left-hand column is also included in the syllabus. There's a virtual office icon. That's where I would encourage you to post your questions. If you are wondering about something, then my guess is that others in the class need that same information. I check the virtual office every day, and will answer your questions quite promptly. Other ways that you can get to me is my cell phone number is in the course syllabus, and my office is in the Bass Building, room 229. And my office hours are Thursday mornings, but I will come in other times by appointment, so email me and tell me, or call me and say I really would like a face-to-face visit with you, and I'll be glad to make an appointment to do that. Again, down the left-hand side, you'll see an icon that says Course at a Glance. You're going to find that one of your best friends. Go there to look at what the assignment is, what your reading assignment is, if there are any papers due, what the learning activities are for the week, and what it's really your guide to how the course is going to flow for you this semester. Other icons down the left hand side, the virtual lounge. If you want to go there and visit with your peers, plan a party, study together, that space is your space to use as you'd like. Develop a learning community. Other things you'll see is an icon that'll give you more information about me and my background, my academic preparation, and my family. There's also information for each week of the course. Basically, there are just 2 assignments that are graded this semester. The first one is an article critique, and it's due in week 7, but weeks 4 through 7 you'll be building up to that particular assignment. It is a group activity. The other major assignment is a summary report and a presentation. That also is a group activity. You've already been assigned to groups, and you can find those in the group assignment icon. You will be asked to do a few other things that you're going to turn in, like a list of your literature search that you're going to submit. Also, you're going to be, as a group, submitting a PICO question, and you'll learn more about what PICO means. I wanted to tell you something about your textbooks. You have 2 textbooks. The Brown textbook is the main one, and it's just a textbook like you'd normally see. But the Johns Hopkins textbook's a little different. It's more of a workbook. And you'll be referred to some of the forms that are in that textbook for some of the learning activities that go along the way. Those learning activities are things that we're asked you to do, but you don't have to submit them. When it comes time to do the summation at the end, like on week 14, if you haven't done those activities, you're going to be in a world of hurt. So I suggest you do those. And if you have trouble doing those, you need to contact your faculty member and let us help you. I would encourage you that when you're looking at pages in this course that you scroll all the way to the bottom. Sometimes there's some space between one section and the next section, and if you don't scroll to the bottom, you may miss something very important. There's a sign-up sheet on my door for you to sign up to go to one of the library sessions. Those are going to be the first Thursday of the course and then the second Thursday of the course. I would suggest that you look at the PowerPoints for week 1 and 2 before you go to that, because that will help you prepare for learning the things that you need to know to search the databases to get information that's particular to this course. When you watch the PowerPoints all the way through the course, I would suggest that you have your textbook out so that you can follow along. PowerPoints don't do a lot of good when there's not a voiceover, and these don't have voiceover. So it's important that you take a look at your textbook and make notes for yourself as you go along. Now, the information about the course, I wanted to mention some things that you'll see in Chapter 1. Chapter 1 is about the research and practice connection, and how the evidence that we get from research needs to be incorporated into practice. That's called evidence-based practice. That leads the evidence that you get from research, from quality data, from national databases, from expert opinion, and from patient feedback, all go together to develop guidelines and protocols. I want to mention that your textbook doesn't mention that patient feedback is one source of data that you collect for the evidence on which to base your practice. But that's important to remember. You need your patient and family feedback. Chapter 2 is really an overview of the entire course. It covers just a brief definition of the different kinds of research studies, and it talks more about the research to protocol transfer of information. The last data that I saw says it was 17 years for best practice that's been demonstrated in research to make it to the bedside. That's awful. I mean, to think that we have patients today that could receive better treatment if we had taken the information that was generated 17 years ago and incorporated it. Chapter 3 goes over information about how to read research. It tells you what parts of a research study you go to find things that you are interested in finding, like where do you go to research in a research study to find out the purpose or the methodology, or how did they get their sample for their research project. So Chapter 3 will help you learn that. If you learn that now, then the rest of the semester, when you have to answer those questions, you will have the information to help you do it. The other thing that you'll find in Chapter 3 is the basic steps of how to read research. And they are why, how, and what. You need to be able to answer, why was the study done? You need to answer, how was it done? And you need to answer, what was found? In several assignments, you're going to be asked in your learning activities to answer those questions on different studies. Then the last thing in week 2 that you're going to look at is the PICO question, how to search for and write a PICO question. And look at that. When you look at that PowerPoint, I think that'll answer your questions. I hope this is helping you get a start on your course, and do contact us if you have any information, because we don't want you to be lost and stay lost. So if you have questions, Don't wait too long to ask.